Hello, I'm Jeffrey. I'm with the Roanoke City Public Library in Roanoke, Virginia. I'm here with Patrick at the Taubman Museum of Art, and we have a very special surprise for you. We have this exhibit which Patrick will describe, and then we have a storybook we're going to read about some of our presidents.
Hello, welcome, thank you. I'm Patrick Shaw-Cable, Deputy Director of Exhibitions and Collections at the Taubman Museum of Art, and we are in a part of the exhibition Huntopia, which is an exhibition of the contemporary work of Hunt Slonim, along with a lot of historical vignettes we've created and historical furniture and bric-a-brac that he found in local rummage stores, for example. But I'm currently standing in what we could call the Lincoln Room. He loves President Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln, and these are repetitions of different images that he painted of Lincoln and then worked with a wallpaper fabricator to create this repetitive wallpaper design out of the face of Abraham Lincoln. And thank you for reading for us today.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Patrick. So we're going to back up from Lincoln, about 100 years or so, and we're going to read a silly book. This is about some of our founding fathers. You've probably heard of them. We're going to call them by their first name. How's that sound? This is John, Paul, George, and Ben by Lane Smith. We'll start with John. John was a bold lad. At the start of every school year, the students were asked to write their names on the chalkboard, and every year it was the same story. John, his teacher would say, you have lovely penmanship. Your confidence is refreshing. But John, come on. We don't need to read it from space. Paul was a nosy lad. Before fun was invented, people joined bell-ringing clubs. As a member at Boston's Old North Church, Paul spent hours practicing on the belfry tower. Over time, that bell ringing took a toll on young Paul. All day his head was filled with loud bings and bongs. He had to practically scream just to hear himself talk. Now that's fine around the belfry, but not at work. Extra large underwear. Sure, let's see, we have some. Let's see, large, extra, extra large. Here they are for you, great big extra large underwear. Paul was like a bullhorn in a china shop. Your wig, yes, your wig is coming, and your polka dot shirts are coming, and the pink breeches are coming. It took years and years and a midnight ride for people to finally appreciate his special talent. The red coats are coming, the red coats are coming. Everyone except that big underwear lady, she was still mad. George was an honest lad. One day he took his shiny new hatchet and chopped down his family's cherry tree. When his father discovered the tree, he asked, "Son, do you know who killed this beautiful little cherry tree?" "I cannot tell a lie," answered George. "'Twas I who chopped down this cherry tree." "Then run to my arms, dearest boy," cried his father, "for you have paid me for it 1,000-fold with your honesty." "Really?" said George. "Well, in that case, when I tell you I've taken out the whole apple orchard, leveled the barn, and made kindling of your carriage, you'll be a wealthy, wealthy man." Ben was a clever lad. Not only did he have a saying for every situation, he generously shared them with anyone, anywhere, at any time. Fish and visitors stink after 3 days. He considered it his duty to provide frequent free advice. The sleeping fox catches no poultry. Those who in quarrels interpose most often wipe a bloody nose. If your head is waxed, don't walk in the sun. 3 can keep a secret if 2 of them are dead. The townsfolk were so taken by his generosity, they came up with the saying especially for Ben. Will you please shut your big yap, Ben? I like it, said Ben. Short and to the point. Work a fox or turkey in there, and I think you'll have something. Tom was an independent lad. One day, his teacher, Mr. Douglas, asked the class to make birdhouses by gluing macaroni to ye old balsa wood. Tom happily ignored him and used traditional building materials in a neoclassical design. When the class made a palm tree, Tom took one look and said, "Not on your life," and quickly left. To sketch his own tree, "Young Thomas," fumed Teacher Douglas, "would you mind explaining to the class why you insist on working so independently?" "Certainly," said Tom. "In fact, I've taken the liberty to list the very reasons. Fear not, sir, I've used small words for the benefit of the dullards." Tom learned the power of his words that day. Mr. Douglas told him to pursue all the life, liberty, and happiness he wanted. Independently in the corner, the other students pursued lunch. The rest is history. Say, you want a revolution? Well, John, Paul, George, Ben, and Tom sure did. In April of 1775, they got one. The redcoats were coming. In fact, King George III's army were marching to Lexington and Concord to arrest John and the other Sons of Liberty. But we know how that turned out. Here's our epilogue, ye old epilogue. George did not live in the White House like all the other presidents. He was asked to live in New York City where there are not so many trees. The end. Well, it's been a pleasure having story time and being around all this wonderful artwork. Thanks so much, and tune in later for more.